Hey, Leo, you're going to Camp Wilderness this week, aren't you?
Yeah, it's this week.
You're so gonna have the best time. I think it was my favorite thing about elementary school. You want some pointers?
Not really. Sorry, but I'm actually trying to keep my mind off the field trip and not think about it.
What? Leo, are you crazy? You love the great outdoors, and Camp Wilderness is so awesome. What's up?
So, my teacher made me the safety captain for the trip. It's a huge responsibility, and I don't know why she did it. It's a lot of pressure, and in my class, I'm not the strongest, the smartest, the most popular, or really the best at anything.
You don't have to be the best at
Layla, what if someone gets hurt or lost? It's gonna be all my fault.
Leo, you should be proud that your teacher picked you. And don't worry, there are gonna be lots of adults there.
I don't know what Mrs. Johnson was thinking. She should have picked Johnny Sanchez. That kid's good at everything.
He is a pretty cool little kid. But Leo, just trust your teacher. You always say how much you like her.
I don't know. Like you said, this is one of the best things in elementary school, and I don't want to mess it up.
I know. Let's use the history app for a lesson in trusting and having faith.
Goodness! More angels? What does God need me to do now? I'm so tired. But I am at the Lord's service.
Nice. I'll take angels over aliens.
Excuse us, sir. Don't be alarmed, but we're not angels.
We're time travelers. I'm Leo, and that's my sister Layla.
Oh, I'm not alarmed. I've seen so many crazy things lately, but I have faith that God has a plan. Can I help you time travelers with something?
Having faith is what we're here about. What religion are you? Jewish? Christian?
Layla, we're in BC. You know, the whole time period literally named before Christ. You can't have Christians before Christ was born.
Oh yeah, duh.
I don't know about all that. I'm an Israelite. My name's Gideon.
Wait, I think I've heard of you.
Right, I remember. We were learning about you at our vacation Bible school last summer. But then Leo started chasing me with a gross wet sponge and I totally missed the lesson.
Oh yeah, that sponge was really gross.
Anyway, Mr. Gideon, can you teach us about faith and trust? Leo's teacher gave him an important job and he isn't sure he's the right person for it. I want him to trust her, have some faith, relax, and feel proud, not worried.
Wow, that's fantastic. I just went through something similar. I was picked for a job and was very unsure about it. I had to learn to trust, and I've definitely needed a lot of faith lately.
Really? I need to hear your story.
All right, so for a few generations, we Israelites were doing great. Moses led us out of Egyptian slavery, Joshua led us to some big military victories, and then life was good under the guidance of Deborah the judge. But then guess what?
The children of Israel stopped listening to God?
Well, yeah, the children did, but the adults mostly. How'd you know?
We go to Sunday school, and in our lessons, it sounds like you Israelites are always forgetting how much you need God.
I know, right? Me included. So God had told us not to have any other gods, just Him. But we didn't listen. Next thing you know, we started worshiping some local idols, and boom! We get taken over by the Midianites. And for the last 7 years, they've been stealing our crops and cattle whenever they want and bullying us into having to hide in caves.
You get bullied? Even with that awesome sword?
Oh, yeah. Well, hold on. Let me get back to the story.
Yeah, Leo.
So one day, I'm just minding my business, doing my regular chores, when out of nowhere, guess who comes to talk to me?
God?
Close.
An angel?
Nailed it. So this angel comes down from heaven and tells me, just plain old Gideon,
"The Lord is with you, mighty warrior."
So I'm like, excuse me, but first, this Lord, the one who saved us from Egypt, has abandoned us. And second, no offense, but you got the wrong guy. I'm no warrior. I'm the youngest in my family, my tribe is one of the weakest, and I may or may not have even dabbled in a little idol worship myself.
You said that to God's angel?
Hey, I was being honest. So then the angel tells me that there's more strength inside me than I know, and that I have the ability to save Israel, that God would be with me, and that together we'd defeat the Midianites.
Wow! So did you actually do it?
I didn't really believe him, so I told the angel I needed some proof from God.
What? You questioned God?
Well, I didn't know if it was really him, and I didn't have any confidence in myself, so why would he?
I know that feeling. So, did God prove himself?
Oh yeah, God did this crazy miracle by lighting my meat and bread on fire.
God burned your lunch?
No, it wasn't my lunch, it was an offering, so it was supposed to be burnt. And that's how I knew it was really him. But I still didn't think he was right to pick me, so I politely asked him twice more for proof, and each time God did something incredible. First it was a wet fleece on dry ground, then a dry fleece on wet ground. It was wild.
What's a fleece?
You know, sheep's wool gets really squishy when it's wet.
Like a nasty, soggy sponge?
So that's why we had them at Vacation Bible School for the Gideon lesson. It was the proof you'd asked for when you didn't feel confident. I should have paid more attention.
And spent less time grossing me out. I had no idea the wet sponge was a sign from God. No offense, Mr. Gideon, but I would have thought God would have wanted someone with stronger faith to defeat the Midianites.
None taken. In fact, I agree. But God was loving and patient with me, and ultimately knew me better than I knew myself. So after those 2 signs with the fleece, and me picking a fight by tearing down a giant idol and replacing it with an altar to God, it was time to gather some troops and get ready to fight.
Was it hard to recruit troops?
Nope. We Israelites were so sick of being bullied that lots of men were ready to fight. Actually, way more than God wanted.
God didn't want a lot of troops?
No, he actually wanted me to have the smallest army possible so that everyone would know it was his strength and power that caused the victory. He had me put the men through tests to narrow them down. We started with 32,000, but that shrunk to 10,000 when I told all the nervous ones they could leave. You'd think that was small enough, but God wanted me to make the army even smaller.
But all the brave ones were left. How did you get rid of even more?
God instructed me to give them another test. I told the soldiers to go get a drink from the spring. Some men put their heads down to the water to drink, and some of them lifted the water to their mouths in their cupped hands. God told me to only keep the men who used their cupped hands and kept their heads up. After that, I was left with just the best and bravest 300 soldiers.
You went from over 30,000 down to 300? That seems crazy.
Tell me about it. Remember, I was already full of so much doubt, first about God and then myself, and now I was supposed to lead this tiny army? But sometimes you just have to trust that you were chosen for a reason. Having faith isn't always easy. I didn't know how God was going to give us a victory, and I was still nervous, but I decided to trust him.
Are you listening, Leo? Some pretty good advice for your situation.
Yeah, I'm getting the message.
So, even though it was just us 300 against the mighty Midianite army, God gave me an awesome plan. Each soldier received a trumpet, a torch, and a clay pot.
Huh?
I know, but wait. At night, my men spread out, surrounding the large Midianite army. When I gave the signal, everyone began blowing their horns. The sound echoed off the mountainsides until it was deafening. The Midianites looked around into the darkness, and that's when we smashed the pots, which added to the noise and revealed the flaming torches that had been hidden inside.
Ah, so all the noise from the pots and horns made it sound like there was a huge army, and the torches made them feel surrounded.
That was genius.
Like I said, God had a great plan. And in their confusion, the Midianites started killing each other, and they were so surprised and scared that many ran off screaming.
Whoa!
We chased them down, and pretty soon they were defeated. We Israelites, thanks to God, are now free again.
So, what are you gonna do now that you're a big military hero?
I don't know for sure. My fellow Israelites want me to rule over them as king, but I said no thanks. God needs to be our only ruler.
Did they listen to you?
For now.
Well, congratulations on your recent victory, Mr. Gideon, and thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Do you feel better about the job your teacher gave you, Leo?
Yeah, she's gotta know what she's doing. And besides, I know God sure does. You were so right. Camp Wilderness is the coolest place ever.
So, nothing went wrong?
Actually, so many things went wrong.
Huh?
2 kids got injured and a group got lost in the woods, but each time I was able to find adults and get the situation fixed. It turns out Mrs. Johnson picked me for safety captain because she said I'm confident around adults and good at communicating with them.
See, I told you, you just needed to trust her. Trust yourself and trust God.
Yep, sometimes you just need to have a little faith.
If you'd like to time travel with Leo and Layla again, please visit PragerU.com/kids and watch more of their adventures.
Thank you for watching this video. To keep PragerU videos free, please consider making a tax-deductible donation.